Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, Swamp Swimmer, and with me today, my round 2 opponent of the Las Vegas Open, John. How are you, John? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for jumping on with me.
Oh man, Kenyon, I'm terrific. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Pleasure to have met you in Vegas, and it's really neat how hobbies kind of bring us together.
Exactly. That's the best, truly the best part of going to tournaments is playing a person you've never met before, you've obviously never played before, from a different part of the country or a different gaming group. And that's half the fun, honestly. But John, I ask everyone who comes on the channel, I ask them what their Warhammer story is, how you started playing this game, how you got into it, what's your favorite army, what was your first army? Take it away. I'd love to hear your story. Go right ahead.
The story of my life. Oh gosh, I don't remember the Austin Powers bit. I was about to kick it off. Really, like so many of us, I was born with a love for storytelling. It started in fiction and broadened, connected into role-playing games and miniature games.
Yes.
Really not so dissimilar from the history of Warhammer itself in that regard.
It's very
Started
true.
As a so a couple of brief facts, and then I'd love to elaborate. Started right in the first or second edition. It's hard for me to distinguish between them, but I would say right around 88, 89, thereabouts.
Wow.
I think
So
that's second edition.
That was before my time. Yeah.
There were some absurd and fun memories I have from that time growing up. Vampiric blades that would steal stats from enemies as they inflicted wounds, bloodthirsters summoning bloodthirsters from axes. It was a wild and crazy time. I think it had the fastest band army. There was a high elf army, this concept of the dragons of Calidor, where every unit was a champion mounted on a dragon, and the dragon itself was a wizard.
Ah.
We've come a long ways.
We have come a long ways.
Favorite army? Wood Elves, without a doubt.
Oh, okay.
From the beginning. But I always shared, perhaps it's a neighborly thing, or perhaps a love of Arthur and French history and chivalry. I've always truly loved Bretonnia.
Yeah. It's got the visual element. It's got the history. It's this amalgamation of Arthurian legend and French history and all the beautiful visuals of heraldry. It's a very easy army to fall in love with.
Yes. And though I grew up in California, my family, we're immigrants from French Canada, and I always felt an affinity to that French connection.
Mm-hmm.
But how did I really get started other than looking at these fun rules as a way to visualize narrative from the storytelling I was playing with as a young reader and writer with friends? It was also fun to, paint some minis and see what would happen, what emergent stories would come as we threw dice together, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But there's a particular story in my experience that I'd love to share if you're open to it.
Of course.
That's maybe more about the journey than where I started.
Go right ahead.
All right. Well, I think for my first decade of Warhammer, it was pretty typical. I was all in. I geeked out. I went to the first grand tournament in North America.
Nice.
Played with folks that were involved in the first grand tournament in White Dwarf, or in, over in England. We played out of Sacramento. We played out of the Bay Area. Still play with many of those folks. And that really carried through my 20s until near the end of my 20s. I had the wildest interruption in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Something one never might make as part of your plan, but while helping my father out at his home, a tree branch broke from a couple stories up and snapped on my head.
Oh no.
There was, there was no more appropriate target for a Widowmaker than a guy who loved playing Wood Elves and Treemen. Across the Warhammer spectrum,
Okay.
And yet here I am now squashed by this thing. And it was a life-changing moment. In ways that you don't see, with really powerful concussions or strokes or trauma of that nature, it can really interrupt one's connection to who they are or who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see how it had affected mine for years and years and years. I just knew I lived. I got back up. But when I got back up, I didn't have Warhammer in my life anymore. I just dove into work to try to figure out how to rebuild a career that had been interrupted. I found the joy of finding meaningful work again, taught myself to read again, developed those same passions I had as a kid with a lot of advantages, that I had stored up as an adult, until really about a year ago. My friends from Sacramento, I'll just mention first names: Jason, David, Joe. They had all kept their armies and their childhood intact. And with this new edition, when it was announced, they said, "John, you've got to get involved with us again." And I said, "Yeah, I'm in. I love it. I'm in. I'm going to go. Let's go." And I said, "One thing, I don't have an army." And then one of them said, "But John, I've got your Wood Elves right here." What?
That's amazing.
Before they had been announced to be reprinted. My friend Joe knew I might be back someday. And he had just nurtured and kept what might easily be many thousands of dollars of Wood Elves in today's terms.
Yeah.
Original models for decades. What an amazing act of friendship.
That's an amazing, that's a beautiful, amazing act of friendship. Wow, what a story.
This is what's great about our hobby. I mean, we have friends, we meet, we connect. And not only that, but he had been painting so many of the models we talked about as kids, as almost like another act of friendship on the side. And I was absolutely flabbergasted, and and yet there's even more. Back in the day, I really dabbled with a lot of different armies. Wood Elves were always my prime, but I also acquired some armies. I acquired the Bretonnia army we played.
We played, yeah.
I played against you. And later parted with it to another friend who heard, as I got back into Warhammer decades later, "John, you gave this to me decades ago. This is yours, bro. Go enjoy. There's a new event locally. Go try this one out just to bring back old memories." And I did.
That's great. And this all happened.
Anything but Warhammer.
Yeah. And this all happened within the last year.
Yes.
Wow, that's cool. That's super cool. I didn't realize, because when we played, you said to me kind of quickly that like you're getting back into it after a long period, and you had played way back when, but now you're getting into the old world. Yeah. This story is so much more than what I realized during the game.
Well, listen, as I'm 52 now, so I've really been into 4 decades of gaming with friends. Many of those D&D or Warhammer or other things, and I just am so appreciative about the enduring bonds and connections, and then reconnections that brings. I think everybody in this hobby, awesome for life.
It's so true. So many friends I've made in this hobby that have lasted and that are in some weird way they're more meaningful than other casual friendships I have outside of the hobby. And there's some extra glue in there that Warhammer adds to a friendship that really is special. That's a great story. That's a great 2 armies came back to you after decades.
It's the lore of love. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful. But we did play a game, and we got to talk about it. So let's get into the battle report.
Sounds great.
So round 1, I had a big win, and then John and I got paired into each other. John is playing Kingdom of Bretonnia. We're playing 2,000 points, close quarters, strategic locations 2, domination, and baggage train. So there's a significant amount of secondary objectives going on in this game. Let me just jump ahead into the armies. If you are interested in my army, the army that I brought, please click the link right above my head. It'll take you to my round 1 video where we go over my list in a little more detail. I'm just going to go ahead and jump over to John's list here. John, tell me your thought process behind taking this list. And if there is no thought process, that's good too. Just tell me what you brought.
I'll introduce with a brief preamble that says, I was advised I made a mistake in my list building, which was addressed with the judges. So for those of you that might be reviewing the list, I thought for fun, I would give the Morningstar Fracasse to my Duke, who also had the virtue of I think it's monster slaying.
Yes. So to be specific, the monsters the virtue of heroism gives you heroic killing blow, but you can't use it with the Star of Fracasse. Which what does that magic item do?
+1 strength, -1 AP.
Okay.
And if I wound somebody, it destroys their magic weapon.
Okay.
It's 50 points.
To be honest, it didn't make you're allowed to use one because you can't use the magic item in combination with the virtue. That's the ruling. You accidentally did that, which is totally fine. It didn't really make a difference in my game that you were using the killing blow came up a lot, but the virtue of heroism the Star of Fracasse did not, because I don't think you were in combat with anyone with a magic weapon or a magic item. So it didn't make a huge difference in our game, but it's okay. You realized it a few games into the tournament. You fixed it, and then you continued on with the tournament. It's I think that the TO handled it in a very good way also, right?
I think so. And the final ruling was I'm not allowed to use them in concert, but I would be allowed to use the virtue. For 4 points, I believe I could have just taken a lance. I just thought the Morningstar was cool. And I started working on modeling a kit with this to fit with my army. It was truly unintended. Any miss there?
No worries. And you took a named character, Lady Elise Duchard.
I took a named character paired with the original Lady of the Lake in terms of a proxy. I did have some proxies. I just received this army. I was so excited, and my wood elves were still in California. I was unearthing, I was modeling, I was trying to bring things together. So my thought was, I just want to line up lances, perhaps bigger lances than might be popular. Who's to say? I just wanted to bring back that memory of knights charging across the field, the sound, the thunder, and so that's what I tried to portray in the army.
Yeah, because basically, you had the Paladin BSB, you had 8 Knights Errant, 10 Knights of the Realm, and then 10 Grail Knights. That's a huge block of Grail Knights. That unit can hit very hard.
It's true. I thought you can never really have enough Grail Knights. What happens if I have 10 of them, or maybe even 11 with the Battle Center Bear joining them? Really, this is I've been playing differently, but this is what I wanted. This is the fantasy I wanted to bring.
This is not a what do you want, Ken? A net list, the hottest list out there. But it was fun. It was 3 huge lances. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think your attitude and that of all the other players at the tournament made it a joy, because everybody was so receptive and welcoming. I was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. All right. So let's talk about deployment. I realized afterwards that I didn't take a picture of deployment. This is actually after my turn 1. So you can see I pushed a bunch of my models forward. I did this to get into contact with some of the strategic locations to try to cover those. But basically, I covered my front line with skinks, and then I kind of focused the majority of my monsters, including the majority of my magic missiles, off to the table, right-hand side of the table. I think you just had 1, 2, 3 big knight lances on your side of the board. Like, kind of.
Yeah.
What was your thought process when dropping? Because you basically finished dropping first. When you finished dropping, I basically only had out some skinks running around the board.
I was a kid at a candy store, because as I looked at the board, I just saw a bunch of John monsters, point lance, send the knights forth, pray to the lady, let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. That sounds so simple. I mean, for a Wood Elf player at core, which is all about movement and control, Bretonnia is that fresh breeze. And that was my plan. I tried to line up so that I could get across the field quickly. And I would expect just try to push through that monster hill that you created.
Yeah.
And that was my focus, my battle plan.
I'm gonna go through every turn here, but I think the really defining moment of the game is this turn right here, bottom of 1, when you decided, and you can see it right in the center of the board, you pushed up your Duke on the Hippogriff. Or no, he was on a peg, not a Hippogriff.
He is on a Pegasus. That's a proxy because I'm working on the model. I was going to play him on a horse, and the really awesome event organizers said, "Look, you're just coming back to the hobby. Why don't you can proxy this? Why don't you put it on a They were very supportive, and I'm really appreciative of. I think it was Andy in the team there.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Andy's a great guy. It's totally fine. I don't care about proxies at all. I really don't. I love seeing beautiful armies on the table. Don't get me wrong, but if someone wants to proxy an army, wants a proxy model, it's totally fine. I don't care. But you did in the bottom of turn 1, literally the one thing I was afraid of you doing to me. Because all of your lances, it's gonna take me a long time to chew through them with missiles and my poison javelins because your high armor save. But I can chaff all of them. I can throw out a skink unit to slow any of those units down. The one thing I'm really afraid of was your peg on your Duke on the peg, because he can kill monsters with the heroic killing blow, and I can't really stop him. And you did exactly what I didn't want you to do. You threw him up there in the center of the board. You can see it's like smack dab in the middle of this image is him right in the middle there, pushed up in front of one of my Stegodons in the middle there. So when you did this, I knew I did throw all my shooting at him and all my magic at him and hope I could kill him. And if I didn't, then you're going to charge my monsters and you'd kill them, and then I'd turn and do it one more time. So I knew I had 2 rounds to shoot and magic you off the board, and that, for me, almost was the game. So this is what I did. So this is top of 2, and you can see I just surrounded you. I pointed all of my magic missiles at you, and I shot you. And the dice, what happened? The dice, I think I took 1 wound off of you, I think.
Oh, you did more than 1. I'm going to guess 2 or 3. I felt tension. I was I was very concerned, but you got to have faith in the lady. I had kneeled. She got me through.
And then I put my big swarm unit in front of the Grail Knights to let your Grail Knights just chew through them through multiple turns. And then, of course, I didn't kill you, so you charged one of my Stegodons, and then I messed up and you overran into another monster, so I didn't get my second turn of shooting and magicking you, and then you killed the monster, turned again, and then you ended up, I think the Duke ended up killing 2 Stegodons and 2 Bastiladons, 4 monsters total.
He fed the whole war camp steaks from his I mean, it was incredible. He was very blessed that day. I had 4 or 5 killing blows. He was just going.
Yeah, it was good. Man. It was. Hey, you got me good with there, because you made the one strong play, which was pushing the character forward, that I knew I couldn't, or there was a risk I really couldn't handle.
As a younger Warhammer player, I was much more cautious, much more careful about point exchange. It's such an important principle to Warhammer, which I think is first and foremost a movement game and then a game of triage. But I'll tell you, now in my young 50s, I look at this game and I just think, I kind of harken back to the stories and that little kid's voice. What would the Duke do? Follow me, let's go. You just got to go with it. Take some
he
chances.
Has the virtue of heroism, and that was very, very heroic. 100%. Yes.
So it was a really fun game for me, Kenyon. I thought it was great.
No, it was a good game. It was a great game because playing Warhammer is fun, and you were a great opponent, of course. But man, that Duke got me good. After that, I'm gonna just breeze through it. I slowed down all your lances as much as I could. I kept turning and facing and trying to kill the Duke with different shots, but I just couldn't do it. He ended up running around my backfield, killing all my monsters. And by the end of the game, let's jump to the end stats here. Yeah, it was a 20 for you. A 20-0
Oh my
win.
gosh.
Congratulations.
Oh, I think I didn't know such a significant win might be achievable. I mean, I think I got fortunate there, but it was a very memorable game for me because, as I said, I felt tension. You were pressuring me and moving so well, and your eye for distance and measurement. You were the
Yeah,
superior player that day, I would say.
No, I feel like I played the movement right. What really messed up was I knew it was not great odds of killing him that first turn when you pushed him over, when you pushed him straight forward. But I messed up that you got to overrun into a second monster, and I didn't get the second round of shooting and magic on him because I think I would have killed him in that second go at it.
There was one other element that I think helped, which the Green Knight, strictly an homage.
Oh my goodness!
To my love of Gawain, but the Green Knight helped distract, I guess, a second battery of super monster lasers, as I thought of them.
Let's take a step back. I completely forgot about the Green Knight. Oh, hold on. Game images. There we go. Let's go back. I completely forgot about that.
You had done a great job, as I recall, blocking it from coming out of the woods. We had that discussion. But there was a natural feature he was able to emerge from.
The woods on the far left,
I really to help slow down your assault.
I completely forgot about that. That's the turn. The turn. This is the image you were looking at before, where you push the Duke forward. If you notice on the far left in that forest feature, I have all of skink units spread out, so there's nowhere for the Green Knight to show up. But you did have him show up in the water feature in the top right. And this is another mess up I made on my part, was I put that one Stegodon. You see him, he's the blue character right in front of the Duke, who's in combat with this Stegodon. I gave you the turn 1 charge into a Stegodon. I think it was it was high on dice. It was over less than a 50% chance of you making it, but it wasn't crazy or anything. You didn't need to roll boxcars. That was my mistake.
I was rolling
also,
hot, in all fairness.
But you charging me caused me to lose, I think, 2 monsters.
That's right. There was a morale factor there as well. And I have to give you credit. I saw there was only one forest on the board. You maneuvered so well out of it, and I asked you if the water could be considered natural, because there's often 2 forests, and it doesn't say forest; it says a natural feature. You showed a lot of grace in giving me that. We talked at the beginning of the game, so thank you for that. The Green Knight,
but I messed up my deployment. I got too aggressive with how far forward I moved that Stegodon. And the reason why I did that was the Stegodon with the bound spell Fireball, and I wanted to Fireball your archers, so I pushed them up a little bit. And that was a big mistake. And because of that turn, I didn't get the chance to magic the Green Knight, and the Green Knight took out 2.
Oh my gosh.
It was a big mistake by me. I made some big mistakes in this game, and that's what got me the 0, to be honest.
Any other day, it might have gone a different way. It was a momentum game at that point. So
yeah, you got that Green Knight charge. I couldn't kill the Duke in 1 round of shooting. Just is what it is. It is what it is. So briefly, John, tell me how the rest of your tournament went.
Well, first and foremost, we mentioned Andy before. The organizers were so welcoming, accommodating. I think I ended up being 2 miniatures short, as I was still, receiving my army from my friend and getting things out of storage. There's a couple units that we were trying to find, and Garrett, who's another Bretonnia player, was so gracious. He let me use 2 of his archers to round up my units.
Oh, nice.
I think gratitude really is what I felt mostly about the tournament, to all the opponents and the organizers. Everybody was terrific. After you, I faced Ivan, who's a fearsome opponent. He has such a sharp knowledge of distance.
He's a really good player, yeah.
And the matchups, and it was a joy for me to face him. I realized, whereas in my youth I had such vigor for this sort of thing, I started to feel fatigue as well, and that's something I'm going to learn about for the hobby. I need to
Three
plan more
games in
recovery.
one day will take it right out of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start, jogging or something. You'll see me next year. I hope to improve on that.
So that was my next question. You plan on returning to Las Vegas Open next year?
Absolutely. And my Bretonians or my secret dwarf project or my wood elves or perhaps something else will be there. I'm excited for it.
Excellent. I plan on being there too. I will see you again, John.
I'd love to take you out when you're in town. Please let me know. You know how to reach me. As part of that, community building we do, let me be a host because I live in the region there.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I think that's all we have. Thank you so much for joining me. If anyone's still watching, please like and subscribe.
Oh gosh.
And John, I'm excited for your reintegration into the Warhammer world. I'll hear from you next time. I'll see you next time at the LVO. And see you next time. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure.